Good evening, everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Ramiz Khan and I am a filmmaker and a film critic, and boy do I have a review for you. Boy do I have a show for you. Today's review is about Scam 1992, the Harshad Mehta story.
जब जेब में मनी हो तो कुंडली में शनि होने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ये मेरी एस्ट्रोलॉजी है.
Sacred Games, Made in Heaven, Mirzapur, take a bow. You officially have a worthwhile competitor and a worthwhile friend in the conversation of best Indian web TV shows of all time. This show currently is rated at a 9.6 on IMDb. Of course, that's going to fall, but that doesn't mean that it's not worthy of the 9.6 on IMDb. And what's even more shocking is that it comes from an unlikely web portal, which is Sony Live. The biggies in India right now are still Netflix and Amazon Prime. The others are garbage. I mean, Z5 is pretty good. Alt Balaji, I mean, crap. So this is Sony Live's first foray, or first successful foray into the TV show market, web TV show market, and boy oh boy is it successful. Harshad Mehta was a stockbroker, also known as the big bull of the stock market. This story chronicles his rise up to the date of his eventual fall in 1992. What the show does beautifully well is that it doesn't show Harshad Mehta as an all-out bad guy. I mean, the stuff he did was bad, but he did have a vision. He wanted the Bombay Stock Exchange to be the #1 stock exchange in the whole wide world. The entirety of the show is directed by a man named Hansal Mehta, and it gets even sketchier when you find out that it's been co-directed by a guy named Jay Mehta. Terrible jokes aside, I'm pretty sure these guys are not related. What they do is that they are a fantastic duo of creativity, vibrance, and direction. The duo is fantastic at what they do. This is also a very clean show. There are very little aspects of nudity, vulgarity, or even swear words. Swear words come in at the very end of the show. They treat the material as an expose in 10 episodes, and in those 10 episodes we get to see the expose behind the actual expose, how things work, how a story breaks, the barriers you have to go through to make sure that the story airs or goes to print. And through that, the audience is meant to ask himself or herself a few questions. Questions such as, are the people who are abusing a broken system bad? Or is the fact that we have a broken system bad? And the story shows us another aspect of this system, this financial system. It's called the money market. I'm not going to act as if I am a financial whiz of some sorts. I am not. The money market to us is portrayed through these two terrible people. And I'm not saying that they're terrible actors, but they are really terrible and poorly characterized characters. It's just as if they were given the direction, all right, you're this bad financial head honcho. We're going to talk about business. Business is good. All right. The writing on those characters is really poor. You're never given any explanation as to what exactly they do and how exactly they manipulate the markets of India. And it doesn't help that one of these characters really has a punchable face. Pratik Gandhi as Harshad Mehta, however, is a revelation. I doubt anyone would want to see Abhishek Bachchan's take on Harshad Mehta anymore. But Pratik Gandhi, you get to see a fully realized performance from the beginning of his journey to the end of his journey. You see his confidence that he has in the first episode slowly start to wane when episodes 7, 8, and 9 come into play. You see him broken and the way he carries himself. Acting is not just about saying lines, it's also about physical acting. Harshad Mehta is always a very vibrant person, and he uses his eyes a lot, he's always smiling, and you see that slowly fade. And when he's in his older years, he does something very special in the sense, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen Game of Thrones. Jaime Lannister's character in the beginning of the show was such a piece of shit, but by the end of the show, you loved him. And that is exactly what Pratik Gandhi manages to do, thanks to the writing material as well, but the guy makes you feel sorry for him. And thanks to the excellent dialogue as well. One of the best dialogues of the show is, do you know what the biggest crime I did was? that I'm Harshad Mehta. आपको पता है मेरा सबसे बड़ा crime क्या है? कि मैं हर्षद मेहता हूँ. Beautiful, beautiful dialogue throughout this whole show. Another piece of brilliant dialogue is when Harshad Mehta and his brother go to the State Trust of India, and the manager at the Trust of India says, "Do you know what the most expensive thing in the world is? It's in the name of my bank." And they say, "Trust." He says, "Yes, it's trust." Do you know why that is? Because trust is always the thing which is high in demand and low in supply. So can I trust you? It's just that this story is just so friggin' unbelievable, man. It starts from the slums of Mumbai and it ends up in the friggin' parliament. I knew about Harshad Mehta, but I didn't know this much. This is the type of stuff Indian media should be doing, actually. And because the story is so unbelievable, it takes a page out of it, the book of Narcos, which is an equally unbelievable set of stories. Narcos mixes its film footage with real life footage a lot, and we get to see that in episode 9 used to beautiful results. It starts off with Ram Jethmalani, a famous lawyer in India. When the film version starts a sentence, the real version of Mr. Ram Jethmalani finishes the statement. And it ends with the line saying, "This should not be called the Harshad Mehta scam. It is the PV Narasimha Rao scam," which leads to eyeballs popping throughout the press conference. Also, big ups, I mean massive ups to the studio that created the beautiful intro for this TV show. It starts off with Harshad Mehta isolated in the sea of the stock market, and we see him slowly rise, and behind him the stock market bar graph is rising as well, and we see these buildings of money illustrated, and then their chains falling on them, showcasing that his money has been, unable to be used. And we see him rise up the ranks in the beginning through the hand signals the stockbrokers do. And at the very end of the show, when his empire is crumbling, we see him falling into the hands of the public, because the money he was embezzling was the money of the public. It's one of the best intros I've ever seen for any TV show. Forget Indian TV show, for any TV show. All in all, you will get your money's worth out of this show. And this is the type of stuff India should be exploring. I felt like I was watching that film Margin Call every now and then, when with all the technical jargon, the financial jargon of BRs, SGLs, and all that stuff. What this does is, I'm sorry to say, but India is an illiterate country. But when stuff like this is released, it makes the audience a bit more itchy to find out more about the stock market. It also makes you a bit more financially literate. So this show, not only does it just entertain you, but it also helps you understand the workings of a lot of things. The question Scam 1992, the Harshad Mehta story asks is, "Ye Harshad Mehta benchod hai kaun?" After these 10 episodes, you will find out exactly who Harshad Mehta is. All in all, I could not believe how big this story was, and I actually went in and did some research of my own to fact check it. Unreal stuff. I know all of you are going to be excited for Mirzapur too, but this is something that you should put at the top of your priority list. I am giving this show a final rating of 4.5 out of 5. An absolute masterpiece if it weren't for those two poorly directed characters of the Citibank cartel. I love this show. You should give it a watch as well. And let me know in the comments below what you think of Scam 1992. Thank you so much for watching, people. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon and share this video. More people should watch stuff like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again very soon.